acceptable to the site.
I
I mean, we're doing what we need to do to provide you screening so that you're not going to be able to have the view that you have right now.
but
You don't have to put any trees on your property.
so those trees are spaced 20 feet on center?
Got them at every 10 feet on center. And there's also a 6-foot chain link fence that has green lattice.
But that's as also
The
stated in
property
that,
line.
but as also stated in that same meeting, that fence was not placed for buffer purposes. That fence was placed to keep our dogs off your property, as stated by your attorney. So it's my understanding that that was never the intention of that fence, as to be a visual barrier.
Per P and Z, we were told that we needed to put lattice in the fence. It was not strictly, they wanted to protect your view. So we did what we were asked to do.
Well, that's what
I added,
you
there was only supposed to be 13 trees on the property line. Now there's 20 something trees on the property line. So I put them a lot closer so that they would fill in a lot faster. I just did that in the last couple of weeks.
Right.
And so now we're watering them and hopefully this time they take. The last batch didn't take. I added a lot of topsoil to assure that these things would grow better.
Okay.
So I'm doing the best I can on that property line to secure her security so she can't see through. I'm just having some minor technicalities at this time, but we're getting there. The project is not finished, so we're getting there.
And so also, okay, in line with that, what happens when they do, if they do, and I hope they don't, because I know they're costly. I mean, I know that kind of vegetation is costly. But what happens when they do die, like the last ones? You know,
They have to be there per code, so we keep replacing until we're successful. That's the only thing you can do.
okay, so they are per code, so that is, okay.
If I can interrupt for a second, Amy,
Sure.
that
Sure.
would be a recommendation that possibly would come from our architectural review committee, that as part of our support of the project, if we were to support it, would be that there would be a reasonable maintenance to keep that the way it was planned to be.
Right, yeah.
That's part of what we try and do.
Yeah, that's kind of, I guess, what I'm getting at, you know?
Yep.
So,
Okay, so and I think the people from ECAD heard that, understand. And what we encourage the people who want to do things in town, we encourage them to do what's compatible with the area and work with people. So, I can only speak for after listening to you, but when our committee discusses it, it'll be brought up.
okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
You want to go back to the
You
site?
could go back to Mike, yeah.
Dan, do you want to take back control and go back to the site plan? That first cover sheet, I think, has it on there.
Yep, hold on 1 second.
Can we zoom out of this as far as we can?
That's not too bad.
Is there a key sheet on this set of drawings that's been, you know what I mean, the key plan? The small scale plan?
Well, the existing conditions plan shows the whole property,
Oh, okay,
but I don't know that got uploaded.
okay.
No, it didn't.
how about on your cover sheet? Isn't there a plan that kind of shows where Newfield?
Yeah, but that's like very, very big, you know, you're not going to be able to, I don't think, discern
Oh, okay.
Well,
Well,
what,
maybe it
So
shows
what you're
where-
seeing right now, if you look at the length of the driveway that you're actually seeing. Oh, well, this will be good. Good thinking, Pam.
Thank you.
You're on top of stuff.
Sludgy.
This is why you get the big bucks.
the big bucks. She's retiring tomorrow.
All right.
There
Like
we
it.
go.
So let me just get oriented. Where are we?
Yeah, that's, so this would, yeah, and this aerial image is before the existing building was built.
So
Yeah,
this,
this is-
That's down below where,
You gotta
at
go
the
up
street.
above. That's not the
Yeah.
same.
Right, yeah, so here's
So-
the,
That's Newfield Road.
yeah, where my pointer is, folks.
now pan to the right.
Yeah, yep, and this is the
This is,
general, the
well-
building is already here. Well, you go
it's
ahead,
in the
Mike.
upper corner. The existing building is in the
right-hand
upper,
corner.
No, up to
upper
the top,
right.
towards upper.
I'm sorry.
There,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there
the
you go. That's where-
existing, that's
that far
Ex-
down?
existing building is there. The new building is like
Second
pretty much in the
building?
middle of the field.
Right here.
There.
Yeah, right in there.
There already
Yeah.
fences there?
And as you look at the driveway, so if you look at this property line as it kind of snakes back down to Newfield Road, that's the existing driveway to access this property. You can't see it from the road, from Newfield Road at all.
Okay.
And then the neighbor, Amy Reeve, her home is here,
Go a little further up.
right here.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And we are planting trees along that north property line,
Right.
and we're clustering them at the west end of that. There's a cluster of trees that will be,
I think you have the landscape plan loaded up.
okay.
I-
That planting plan,
But, yeah,
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
nope,
Ah,
this
Wrong
is like a
page.
perfect storm.
Well, what we did, we looked at,
try to hit the cover sheet site plan, see if that might be it.
you can
I
try-
don't think so.
well,
It's painful to look at it because it's not.
yeah, that's painful.
Okay,
That's basically a,
Yeah,
The same
Yeah.
thing.
double did it.
yeah.
so what we did is looked at more or less, you know, along the line of sight where from Amy's house to the building, and it is predominantly, you go back to the S&E plan. So if you look at the existing parking lot and the existing driveway to the building, there's a little gravel pull-off area, like a turnaround right there.
Right
So,
there.
so just downhill of that is where we're clustering 5 blue spruce. Now this is important. That area is full sun. And blue spruce, or Norway spruce love full sun. And they are gonna grow. And they're gonna fill in that whole area. Some of the challenge with the blue spruces along the property line is the existing deciduous tree canopy. It really kind of comes out over them and shades them. And so, until you could get them really established, I think as Dale said, it's just going to be You know, if one doesn't make it, you replace it until you get established trees.
And Jason, you can speak to this, like, you know, just to confirm for the neighbor. It's why the site plans are so important, because we count those trees.
Absolutely.
Sometimes when the developer is general, no, we count those trees. And 10 years from now, if we go out there and one or two of the trees have died, we can hold the developer, this is your permit. Your permit shows 10 trees. You gotta.
And ultimately, it falls on the property owner. Whether, you know, that it's their responsibility.
Yeah.
To make.
Okay.
New
to-
Hartford held Home Depot, you know, that there were trees, you know, on 202, and the salt from the roads, you know, degraded the trees. They got brown and dead, and they said, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, you got to replace them. Not how many years later. So, you know, that,
Yeah.
They did the
If you
same
don't-
thing to Torrington Ford.
Yeah.
yeah, you count them.
I don't know if you're familiar with a Norway spruce, you know, what their size range is, but you know, if you're in full sun, when they're mature, they're huge, you know, 60 feet tall and pretty wide, very wide. I'm actually planting some at my house soon.
They grow fast also.
Yes.
That was going to be one of my questions. So, you know, if you put in a 6-foot tree now, when is it going to, and the elevation on this north end of the building is not 16, it's not 18 feet, right? Because it's
You're
kind of
down.
down
You
in
push
the
back.
grade, isn't it?
Yeah, you're down below the grade. If we could look at that site plan that Jason had there again,
Like, what's the actual visual, what's actually going to show on that end of the building? It's not 16 feet.
yeah, Jason, between these points, the dark lines, that's 5 feet difference.
Well, you have a retaining wall.
I mean, what I'm saying is between your darkened dash lines and the topo, it's a
The
5.
elevation, you mean?
Oh, yeah. Well,
That's
these are 1 foot contours. Yeah,
Down.
each one is, I'd have to look at it closer.
basically we're down 15
There-
feet.
Well,
That 482 or
yeah, so if you look at the, you know, the actual part of the building that you're gonna see is really,
I mean, other than 100-foot long roof?
no, because that upper corner where the northeast corner of the building is probably I'm roughly 7 feet below grade.
Okay.
Sense.
That says existing building.
If you look at it where there's a heavy dash line through the gravel, you can see that. That's 5 feet, 10 feet down below that point where we're planting trees. And you're 15 feet at the corner of the building.
Oh, yeah.
You're down
Yeah.
a long ways.
The building's a lot lower than the elevation at the property line.
Right.
Right. Okay, so the next question then becomes noise.
that's not for this committee though.
So,
That's Monday night.
Again, though, you know, a large part of the building is below grade. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah.
There's a lot of time in between. And what do we do? I mean,
What does that mean? I don't understand that.
what part don't you understand?
When you mean a lot of time in between, what is that?
Well, I mean, the time between they're young and the time that they're a finished service dog, a finished assistance dog. There's a lot of time in there that they, you know, aren't trained to bark only on
Yeah,
command.
but that's why you have, Mike could speak to this, an insulated panel. So
We have We have a 2-inch.
I
Go ahead.
But
Go
40
ahead.
dogs is a lot of dogs. That kennel better be super insulated.
It is.
Well,
Basically, it's a 2-inch, it's 2 inches of insulation, a solid insulation. And then it has built inside of that a stud wall that is again insulated. So you've got an SDC rating on this wall. It's well below anything that you're going to hear.
And so who
We
is,
basically have put no openings in that end of the building.
no, I see that, yeah.
So
Okay.
that was our intent, was to keep just this as,
Is that outside run wall also designed the same way that the
yeah, it's an
exterior
enclosed
dwelling
building.
walls are?
Yes, it's an enclosed building.
You're right. So the outside run, the run that was
Proposed to be an outdoor run. is not an
Outdoors.
indoor run.
is now just inside the building.
Well, I know, but you've increased the size of the building by
Yes, we did. Yes.
1,000 square feet.
But it's not like an addition off a building that we proposed before. It's the actual building.
No, I understand, but now just the building, instead of being
Oh.
5,000, it's 7,100.
Yeah, it's slightly larger
Yeah, 2,000 square feet larger.
to accommodate, so the dogs have a place.
Understood.
and run.
Yeah, I'm clear about that. I'm just wondering is that exterior dog run wall constructed in the same
Same
fashion that the building walls are constructed?
Absolutely.
So, how many dogs can we expect in this building at any given time?
20 to 40. We're asking
Right.
for 40 runs. So,
And that's in
so right
addition.
now we'd be averaging 20 dogs, but I got room for expansion over the next 15 to 20 years to increase that to hopefully 40 dogs.
So, and you have how many kennels in existence already?
Not on this property.
No. I mean, for the ECAD, for the dogs that you currently,
At the lower property, which is a separate property, I have a kennel license for 20.
okay, so on this property, we have the potential for 60 dogs.
No.
But it's two separate properties.
No, I'm just talking about for the ECAD campus. For as far as the neighbors are concerned, we have a potential for 60 dogs if this building is approved for 40 dog kennels.
Can I step in? Does this have anything to do with architectural review?
Yeah, absolutely. The
Does it?
size-
No, it actually doesn't. If we have our chairman come up,
I think it has more to do with,
it's really PNC noise and all that kind of stuff is not
Planning and
us. It's
zoning.
not our purview
we'll
Okay.
get
at
into
all. So you're talking about things that are not under the architectural review. Again,
Okay.
it's talking about street presentation. It's
Right.
talking about planting of trees for, aesthetic materials that are used for aesthetic reasons. It's not to do with this issue. This is a PNC issue.
Understood.
And those aesthetics, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the aesthetics are as viewed from the public way.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Correct.
So Hank, I'm not sure what you want to do in terms of going forward because we're
Well,
not
if-
really able to vote on this as the way it's being presented.
May I be heard?
Well, the only thing I brought up before is, would the committee agree that we make a statement where we encourage, which we know is a necessary thing for the neighbor, for that replanting of any trees that are lost and an effort to make that buffer as good as it can be.
But we don't even have a plan that shows that as a purview for us. So normally we're presented with a plan that is
Yeah.
a detailed drawing of, that will detail not only the placement of the plants, but the type of plant. So it's a
Right.
true landscape architectural plan.
Right. I printed
So we
all
don't
the
have
things.
anything really to comment on at this
Find it.
point. You know, this is,
Can I,
you know,
can I ask
all,
a
I'm
question?
sure Amy feels these are all valid things as a homeowner, but
They're-
they're really
they're-
not under our purview.
So the lack of a landscape plan means you can't make any determinations or make any official comments or recommendations at this particular meeting?
Not for
Can I
this,
understand?
not for this.
It's a jurisdictional thing, I would say. There is a planting plan, but that's really a P and Z issue.
Actually, the planting plan is actually one of our
Well,
purviews.
I understand that, but as viewed from the public way, you can't see this from the public.
For aesthetic reasons. That's why we're doing this, so that whatever happens in the town, we're looking at it from people who drive by buildings, see everything, that it's, you know, aesthetically pleasing for the town and the
Understood.
progress of the town.
Understood.
That's all we have. We wish it could be more.
And there is a landscape plan in the set of drawings that was.
Would it help to continue this meeting and to also maybe grab some photographs to share? Sometimes pictures.
Well,
I mean, I don't see the point really to continue this. Yeah, I mean,
well,
so far removed from the road.
Jason, you're going to present the landscape plan to the planning and zoning.
Absolutely. And because it's a special permit application,
They'll have to agree that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So our recommendations can be that it's the zoning, planning and zoning issue for the neighbor.
Okay, Pam, is that satisfactory to go on?
Yep, you're not really rendering an opinion at this point. You're gonna leave it to planning and zoning as part of their
Exactly.
special permit process.
Yep.
Great.
Okay.
You know,
Donna?
I
I don't know,
think
I'm
this
not sure.
started. Oh, I'm sorry.
I've told
Donna?
these folks that, you know, this is, the architecture review is a very friendly group. Their role is
We
advisory.
smile.
Their role is advisory. They try to do some of the heavy lifting in advance, you know, to you know, you have the more refined eye, maybe the in planning and zoning often gets into the nuts and bolts of,
Right.
you know, how the application conforms to the zoning regulations. You folks often look at sign design, you look at architectural features, because you feel that the building won't be seen to the general public. You're gonna leave, you really aren't making a favorable recommendation. You're not making an unfavorable recommendation. You're just leaving planning and zoning to their review.
Right.
Is that fair?
Yep, that's fair.
I would agree with that.
Yes.
Okay. There we have it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jason.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And we'll move on to our next item of
I'm gonna
business.
adjourn here.
You can leave the meeting. We're
Yep.
going to go on to approval
Trying
of
to figure out.
minutes from our last meeting.
Trying to figure out how he got out, guys. Sorry. Where's your arrow? Down here.
I'll help you.
I can't. There you go.
Okay. So
Okay.
you're welcome to stay for the
Okay.
meeting, Amy and Attorney Fisher. You know, but so did I put on, well, I hope I've sent you the meeting schedule. Did I?
Actually, the link was for the upcoming meeting on Monday, but Amy Reeve texted me with the correct link, so I was able to join a few minutes late, but I listened to it all.
Okay. So, okay.
And I do have the link for Monday's meeting now.
Okay, good.
Okay,
So-
then can we move on to the approval of the minutes from our August 20th meeting? Does everyone have that copy of that? Does anyone have any changes or amendments to the meeting that we had on August 20th? If so, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Second,
All right, second.
everyone in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye.
And unless anyone has any other business they'd like to bring to the committee, you did give us that schedule for the meetings.
I did.
Yeah, I think we got it about a month ago.
Does that look okay to everyone? Is to continue on the third
The third Thursday,
Yeah,
at 5:30?
yeah,
5:30.
Okay.
Sounds good.
that's fine.
I'll submit that.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so
Hey,
do I
Hank,
hear a motion to adjourn?
Hank, I have
Hank.
one question.
Hank,
Oh, I'm sorry.
get closer, Doug.
Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe it would be helpful to all of us if we had as an agenda item, somehow or other codifying what our role is,
Mhm.
so that we know exactly when and where we should be ruling or giving judgments, and when we're outside of the picture, and what the parameters we use for making our judgments. I think it's been a little bit too loosey-goosey, it's all subjective. And for instance, tonight, I don't know, maybe Pam could tell me I'm wrong, but I don't think we had any place in this position, in this issue with the kennel. If you can't see it from the road, I don't interpret that as something within our jurisdiction.
I think that your review was appropriate. It needed to come before you because the zoning regulations say that it needs to come before you, but upon review, that's, you made your finding as you made your finding, but it's
Right.
still, a similar proposal would still need to come before you because it's a
Okay.
Mhm.
special permit.
All right, well, maybe
Yeah.
next time we could just do a little quicker.
Love it.
Because
Well-
I'm actually very sympathetic to Amy's issues. I can understand her problems, but really not our fight.
No, and she'll have the opportunity Monday night, but
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
No, and I purposely drove by and saw the building close to the road and wondered where this new building was going to be. And
Me too.
once they told us that it was way up in the back, and that changed the whole
Right. Yeah.
reason for our being there,
Yeah.
being here tonight.
yeah,
But,
it's unusual.
Good to see
And
you,
I
though.
think she has valid reasons to question, especially sound, to me, you move to the country for quiet, to have dogs barking continuously, that would be an issue,
Terrible.
but that's not our.
And I also read the letters from the neighbors, and they all described it as a noble cause,
Yeah.
but they had concerns, and I agree that the planning and zoning committee should be the ones to answer those kind of concerns.
Right.
Thank you.
I actually have a question about most of the people we've met with. For example, I drive by the new health center, and I will go, wow, we did good with that. So if you get something that's a little bit controversial, should we hold off on our recommendations and meet privately?
You can't.
You can't do that?
No,
Okay.
it has to be in an open forum.
Okay. Yeah, no, you know, I
Yeah.
mean,
FYI.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any other comments or questions?
How you all doing? Everybody okay?
Everybody looks healthy.
Yeah.
Nice
we're
to
doing
see
good
you.
here.
All right, take care, you guys.
I want to watch my kids in their sports activities and it's driving me nuts, but that's, you know, that's something you gotta put up with.
Mm.
All right,
Okay.
take care,